Alrighty, we are live on YouTube. I just wanted to welcome everyone to our first Dry Eye Shop Live. We're planning on a weekly live stream with me and Rebecca and some other folks at the Dry Eye Shop to just check in, say a little bit about ourselves, what's going on at the shop, and hopefully interact with some customers every once in a while. Yeah, so I send out the newsletters on Thursday, and we thought we could also do like a video live stream component just to go over what's going on this week. And yeah, pass it to you, Rebecca.
All right. I am so happy we're doing this. I just thought it would be a lot of fun. So Dry Eye Shop, for anybody who's not that familiar with us, we started, oh my gosh, it's 17 years ago now in 2005. And we've evolved a lot from a tiny little thing to a slightly larger thing. And our key areas are dry eye products and over the last 6 or 7 years, an emphasis on scleral lens products, but our real focus is information and getting people connected with the help that they need. And Aidan's had a much increasing role in all of this in the last couple of years. And it is one of the great comforts of my life that he is now doing our weekly newsletter, which means it's actually happening every week, which is awesome. So the Dry Eye Shop Live, we thought, Aidan said, would be a little bit of an electronic version of the same.
And as for myself, I just had to look it up here. I started part-time in March of 2016, and I've been full-time since March of 2020. So yeah, coming up on some anniversaries here. Geez. You may know us also from our work in the Dry Eye Foundation, which we started in 2018, and we've really grown our online presence, I would say, in the last couple of years with COVID, starting some Zoom support groups, but we've also had a Dry Eye helpline since the beginning, a big survey we did that we're working on getting out there with, and geez, what else? Our website, YouTube, Zoom projects, yeah.
Buckets of projects everywhere. Nice.
Great. All right. And so part of the newsletter that I do every week, and something that I've had at least one person comment on is helpful, is our current backorder list. We have that on our site. And there's a few products that are kind of being pesky right now. Off the top of my head, Lacropure has been on kind of a manufacturer quantity restriction. We can only get so much every month. We are getting some more. I think we got some more yesterday, but we're limiting it to 1 box per customer. And we've been filling subscriptions ever since I think the quantity issue started, maybe in October or something. Unique pH is the same manufacturer. We got some 4-ounce size in yesterday. We're limiting that to 3 per person per order. Let's see what else. There's the chronic soap shortages. OcuSoft hand soap has been out of stock for I don't know how long.
Oh my God, is it ever coming back?
I don't know. I think someone emailed us about that a few days ago, and I was like, they haven't said they're discontinuing it.
We live in hope. I mean, that's a really popular soap.
I know. Then we've got just kind of random fluctuations with the liter optical soap. It looks like currently we've got the 32-ounce size in stock, and Serene OptiSoap, I think it's called. Yeah, OptiSoap is always in stock, all the variants. That's our trusty soap that we added rather recently when these issues started.
It might be worth just noting why we care about soap.
Sure. Yeah, important part of kind of contact lens, scleral lens preparation. Oil, yeah.
Clean, yeah. There's with scleral lenses especially. There's just this issue with transferring oils to lenses, and so many hand soaps these days have some kind of moisturizers in them, and you can really easily use the wrong soap and then find your lenses are collecting crud during the day and you don't know why. And so it's just kind of an easily missed culprit. Having some kind of contact, I mean, it doesn't have to be one of these brands, but having some kind of contact lens friendly hand soap is good.
Sorry. Oh yeah, no, we're planning on bringing a contact lens hand prep spray out in the next couple of weeks too. Be a good option for kind of on the go.
Yeah, that's this thing from Vibrant View, alcohol-free hand prep. That would be handy.
Yeah. And then in terms of eye drops, next on my list is Retain PM. It's an overnight ointment, one of the few that doesn't contain lanolin alcohol. We have blog posts on all of these back orders, by the way, and I'll put a link into the back order page. You can get through it in our help menu. So what's the alternative? It's Soothe ointment, and there may be like a Walgreens generic. And then Fresh Coat, the multi-dose bottle, has been out of stock and it won't be back until at least May. Luckily, we do have the individual vials and we can get those as often as we need. So those are in stock.
I think, did Gary say those have kind of a relatively short expiration?
I would check on that. I don't remember.
Kind of thinking those maybe like September or October this year. So yeah, buying a year's worth of the single-use vials is probably not a great idea. We want to wait for new stock to come in later in the spring.
Yeah, let me look. Single-use vial September of this year. So that goes to say we do track the expirations of all our stock. You can always chime in or message us and ask when the product you're looking at will expire. I don't want to get stuck with anything short dated or that you won't be able to use. Not that we send short dated stock, just.
Yeah, we don't show those dates on the screen. Yeah, you can always find out before you buy. Just chat, text, whatever.
Yeah, make sure it fits your needs. And then a couple other things. We're having trouble getting Clear Care from the manufacturer. I can't get any Clear Care Plus, and we can only get the 3-ounce bottle of the regular Clear Care. I haven't checked online to see if it's available elsewhere. I'm imagining if we can't get it, drugstores may be running out. But there's alternatives to that. And just always want to ask your doctor how you should be doing the overnight disinfection if you really can't get the Clear Care.
Haven't heard from anybody yet who has not been able to get it locally. And I mean, the back order hasn't been going on very long. I'm hopeful that this one, the wholesalers will have enough in their warehouses that nobody ever notices there's a shortage except us. But people should be prepared because I mean, some people have a generic somewhere locally, but most don't. And there's just not a lot of options after Clear Care. So.
Yeah, I didn't write anything in the blog post about Clear Care about the generic hydrogen peroxide. What's the consensus on those?
Yeah, I mean, the peroxide itself is kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But I think the one concern I've heard from people over the years is that the catalyst discs might not last as long. And so if you're used to using a thing a certain way, and then, I don't know, people just might start experiencing some burning from there being some unneutralized peroxide still in the case. So just a thing to probably to be aware of. I know there are some doctors who are fine with the generics and others who are not fond of them for that reason.
And just out there in scleral lens world, we know that sclerofill is on back order at Amazon, but we've got plenty in stock and we're looking at getting some more here pretty soon.
All right. Is that all our back order?
That's it. Yeah, that's the list.
Pretty long list right now. Yeah, a lot of supply chain issues and all of that. Let's see. So something relatively new that I wanted to mention was we've kind of got a new help desk platform where on the shop we've had just a miscellany of articles and videos and stuff floating around, and not always really good ways to get at things. So that I think there's a lot of information that's been out there, but that people aren't finding. So we put all those together in one place. Well, we've got one for kind of customer service related stuff and another for the knowledge base, which is any product related to anything. So on the customer service side, things like just return policy and just how to get at stuff when it's after hours. Let's see, I can actually share my screen on here, right? I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I hope I don't follow this. Aidan, I just pressed the share screen button, right?
Yeah.
Whoops, host disabled participant screen sharing. I think I need you to take me out of prison.
There we go. Try now.
cool. Oh my God, which window is my real live window? There it is, I think. All right, did it work?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so this one, actually, let me go back to the home page a bit. This is the service desk where you can search in here about any customer service related things. You got a return you want to send. Let's see what else you want to learn more about. Subscriptions, or you can just go down. So you can use a search thing or just use the directory. Nice little see all button here to get at everything. One thing that's new on here that I think is kind of helpful, we've just made our return policy a little more visual. So you can just kind of glance through a list of, okay, here's my situation. Haven't tried it out yet. I received the wrong thing. I was damaged in transit, or I changed my mind and I've got something new I want to send back, versus I've got something I tried out that I want to send back. So it'll tell you at a glance there what you can send back, what will refund or replace, who pays return shipping, and how soon you need to contact us. And we're here to support. So questions, or you think you need an exception or whatever, no problem, just get in touch. Let's see, then going back to the, back to the shop. These are all under the help menu. So the service desk and then the knowledge base. This is where there's articles and videos on all different topics. So I think one of the most popular parts of this is the scleral lens user tutorial, where you may have seen some of these articles on the site before, but you can go in on any topic about rinsing, filling, setting up, application and removal are some of the more popular topics in there. We've got videos, some examples of how to do stuff. Other popular areas in there would be articles about night protection products. So like a chart comparing the different goggles and tapes and things. One stop shop for kind of all of the videos that have ever been done in there with the different goggles and such. And yeah, back to you.
Sounds good. All right. And I think I mentioned in the newsletter as well, Rebecca and I have been working for a couple months actually on a new returns process, including a new app that will one day lead to customers, to you doing your own return authorization. So just asking for that through the app rather than having to email or call during business hours. So we're excited about that. We are pretty close. I'm taking all the return requests myself for the next couple of weeks, running those through the app and making sure everything works before we launch it to the public. So that's been our Tuesday morning kind of working topic for the last couple of months. And it's nice to see progress and have an interface that I can imagine customers using.
I'm so excited about that, Aidan. It's just the idea of self-service returns, at least for the situations where we can support that. I really love that, because for myself as a consumer, I hardly ever return anything because it's generally such a pain. And I feel like making people always email or call for return it ends up feeling like a way of discouraging people from returning stuff. And we've got some product categories where it's absolutely normal to do a lot of trial and error. When you're trying out moisture goggles and things to use overnight, it's just so individual. I mean, we can't support, of course, returns of everything. If it's a consumable product, once it's open and used, it's not something you can send back. But with the durable types of things, we want people to be able to try them out. So I'm excited to have a way to make it easier for people to swap things out and send things back that just aren't working out.
And so we do have kind of an updated or clarified return policy in the service desk. And it's kind of funny to be using the app as a customer, putting the returns through there, because I know how much work and how many rules and setup is behind this really simple looking kind of clean minimalist interface. Yeah, hours of work behind that.
I'm thinking of all the time on the just checking out different software packages, all the different app plugins that we could use, because there's some that are super popular and really well reviewed, and we tried them, and no, they were too restrictive. We couldn't do some of the things that we wanted. We need a lot of ability to customize. So there was a lot of stop and start there. And we finally ended up with this package that is pretty new. So they're still doing a lot of development and experimenting and things, but they seemed more amenable to the kinds of customizations that we need. They just give us a lot more control, which we care about.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at 47 after. Do you want to wrap us up?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Talk about.
Hey, let's see. Let's see. I did want to just mention, sorry, I'm looking at my notes and spinning here. So our, as we go forward, if you have questions you want to put out there for us, you can email or text those in, and we can try and cover those during this time. If you're, not feeling like just calling straight into the shop, we can cover some stuff on here. I think we're going to be putting this on the front page of the site afterwards, so you can get at it if you miss one. What else am I supposed to be covering, Aidan?
Oh, sure. I guess I'll do the technical stuff at the end. I wasn't sure if you wanted to do any notes from calls this week.
Oh, yeah. Can I just share one?
Yeah, go for it. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Mixed up. Let's see. Actually, there were a couple. One topic that comes up here a ton lately is, it's been forever, but I've noticed them more lately, is we get a lot of people who have one eye where the lid won't close. They've got Bell's palsy, they have an acoustic neuroma surgery, they've had a blepharoplasty gone awry, some kind of situation, maybe nerve damage, maybe an accident, but a lid's not closing. And they're trying to find something to protect that eye, maybe during the day, definitely at night, just from getting too dried out from exposure. And so just reminded of this by a couple of calls I had this week. I get so frustrated with that topic because we have such a lack of products to help with. For most other things, I know we've got something that will be good. When it's a single eye problem, there's just such a lack of solutions on the market. So it's always about, well, here's some sort of hack. Here's a way you can twist this thing into doing what you need, or how to cobble something together or make something homemade. But right now, actually, for the first time, I finally got some hope of some new things coming. Working with a manufacturer, I've got some prototypes in front of me. I can't show because I don't have permission yet, but we do have some hope of some single eye protection products coming along. And I'll share more about those as soon as I get permission to.
You also mentioned exposure. It reminded me we have Zoom groups through the Dry Foundation almost every day of the week at this point. Tonight, Rebecca's doing one for scleral lens users that'll be on Zoom and streamed on YouTube. But Friday will also be the first incomplete lid closure kind of dry eye support group. So we call that exposure incomplete lid closure. And so I will put a link to the Dry Foundation calendar if you would like to join for any of those.
I am really excited about getting that exposure group going. And that was partly born out of the every other Friday dry eye group, because we've got people in there like Phyllis, who's a regular in those who this is their issue. It's all down to exposure. It's one of those just underserved areas where I think, and again, with the just paucity of products out there for it, it just helps to get people together talking about how do you cope with this, what things work for you, just sharing information, and most of all, just not feeling alone with your ideal. It's good to get people who've got something in common.
Yeah, I've been enjoying my conversations this week on the phone too. Heather takes a lot of the reception and just placing order calls, but I do have a number of just kind of product question calls that I handle weekly, and often those turn into more than just products and a little bit of, hey, maybe check out this group on the foundation or this site, or some just a little more extra help than ordering. So yeah, making sure people feel connected and not isolated. Isolation's, yeah, big one for me this week with the calls.
Speaking of customer service and calls, I just wonder if there's anybody around or who might hear this who remembers Allie, who was doing customer service for forever. Few years back, she's an ophthalmic technician, and she left just before the COVID shutdown to go back to being an ophthalmic tech in a practice. But I heard from her just a couple of weeks ago, and it was really nice to hear she's doing good. She's down in California now.
Yeah, lots of good memories with Allie, and hopefully everyone will get to meet the team pretty soon. We can at least introduce them from the photo, maybe have some people come on video in the upcoming weeks. I think that was everything on my list. So I'll just wrap it up if you're also, yeah, okay. So we'll have this video on YouTube for viewing forever, I guess. We'll put it on the homepage, and I'll put a little thing in the newsletter next week announcing time for the next live stream, link to this video, and we'll just kind of keep doing this every week, and hopefully we can connect with more people. Yeah, so if you need to get in touch with us, we're dryashop.com, 877-693-7939. Anything else to add there?
Well, probably next week we'll probably be going over some new products coming out, and let's see. Yeah, that was my main thing. Probably take a couple of products that are lesser known too, and just talk about them a little bit.
That'd be great. Yeah. All right. Well, that should be it for this week.